so that was a brief segment that I feel like could have continued.
I'm not crying, by the way. I won.
It wasn't necessarily a debate. It's kind of like taking the load off your chest, to letting you know like how you feel about Barca and Pep. I'm obviously assuming that you're going for him.
We need a new manager, man. That's it. I'm done with the sport.
With the sport in general.
Yeah, it's horrible. Like we have.
Bro, you know what's funny that you say that, bro?
We have the best team. Not on paper. Forget paper. We have the best team to win absolutely anything you could think of.
Yeah,
but we're not playing
this is
like
an 11 player team.
This is not just any sport. You need a manager to set your tactics. You need a manager to set everything, man. Like this is the sport that you need a manager to succeed. You could have the best player ever on your team. You would not win. You would not succeed. You would not do anything at all. You need that person there to lead the team.
So at this point, you prefer.
There's no. Forget this, because I know Dembele has been injured like here and then. He comes in, he gets injured. He balls, he gets injured. Whatever, blah blah. But man, it makes no sense for Dembele to be so successful at Dortmund, and then as soon as he gets our team, he just gets injured. There's nothing, man. There's nothing. There's no. They're not backing him up.
Valverde
no, man. That was a desperate signing.
So you have
not desperate. Like Coutinho was a desperate signing. Dembele is really good. He should really like succeed. Like he's that talented to succeed, but he doesn't have the right manager to help him succeed.
Nobody pretty much at this point.
It's going back to United, bro. Like. I mean, we could talk all the nonsense we want, like cracking out jokes, but like.
Now you're trying to understand it.
I've been since the beginning. I've been just talking nonsense. But
no, but like
I'll take Rashford. I'll take.
Well, he was.
I'll take Marshall any day.
Lindelof was linked at one point.
Any of those two players on my team, any of the league. It's just who you have running that team. Man.
Well, that's what I was saying, but to a certain extent, we're kind of like we were in the same boat because Mourinho had me feeling that way, bro. Day in and day out, slagging Pogba and like playing Matic.
But I compare. I don't know, but I like. That's weird. I like too much of like controlled football to like anything else. So like, to me, Mourinho's never gonna like do it for me. I like.
Do you expect him to make a splash? His last push.
Oh yeah. No, they're gonna be good. I think Tottenham was gonna be good. They have the players to do it. I mean,
top 4.
Is it too late? No, right? I haven't been like keeping up. If it's not too late, then I would not doubt like he would do it. Honestly.
Do you have a football app here?
Not really. Like ESPN. Like
that's what you use?
Yeah. So I just follow every sport really.
Let's try.
I mean, if like football wise, like I will trust him, but like I don't think he's better than like Pep. Like I don't think he's better than Pep. I don't think he's better than Pep as like to come in like to like a brand new team. Like let's say you give
he needs
him,
to make signings.
Let's say you get forget like signing. Let's say you give a manager
needs to come in and make signings to get players that are.
I think Pep could do a better job of what he signs with than Mourinho could do. That's my argument. I think Pep could.
Well, you're saying.
I think Pep could change the whole
They sign the same players and Pep will do better.
Yeah. Easy.
Not
even close. I think Pep changes the whole offense in a way that Mourinho can't in today's game. Maybe Mourinho could have done it back like 8 years from now, 10 years from now. Yeah, but like. To adapt to today's game, like I think Pep could easily do it way better. I mean, we've seen it with City, like, but I mean, like Aguero's going downhill from like in City, like before Pep signed. Where was Aguero going with City before Pep signed? Nowhere. And now everywhere's like, oh, Aguero's like top of, he's the best striker.
Yeah, but he's not gonna go elsewhere after this. This is it, Aguero.
So why can't he perform with Argentina then? It has to mean something. My point is, it has to mean something that you have a good manager like that, like running your team, playing, just a tactics, man. It has to mean something.
What do you think about Zlatan?
Scrub. Overrated scrub. All he does is talk. That's it. I know he loves Messi, and I love him for that because he loves Messi.
That's the only respectable thing that you have.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good player. I think he was just... I'm just talking crap. But, I don't think he was ever put in the right position as his talents.
Do you think less of him from the comments that he had towards Pep
That's garbage. What, that he couldn't succeed in Barcelona because of Pep?
Yeah.
No, you couldn't succeed in Barcelona because he sucked. Not sucked, I'm just talking.
Didn't fit the system.
You did not fit. If you do not fit in Barcelona or Real Madrid at some point in your career, to me, you suck.
A player and the manager, or just the player?
Career-wise. Because I
don't really understand that.
but then again, I'm just talking
Okay, because there are some legends out there that never had the chance to
I'm putting Pep and everybody else up here. That's why, if you don't succeed with Pep and a team that you're in with Pep, you suck. To me, that's what I'm seeing.
Oh, okay. Me, I get it now.
I think, Zlatan could have succeeded, but he just did not fit in. You cannot. I love Messi. I think he's the best player ever.
That's what
all
times.
But it's very hard to play alongside.
Name another player.
It's very hard to play alongside Messi. That's why it's so hard to play. For
Dembele. All right. That's why it's so hard. What you're saying.
That's why it's so hard for Dembele to play alongside.
You can say the same thing about Aguero then.
Not really, because he's a striker.
And Dembele is a forward.
No, winger. He can't finish.
You're telling me.
He can't finish at all. I could put him anywhere. He can't finish.
All right.
You could put him in any team that you want. He's not special, man. He could do. I have really high expectations for that guy because I really think that he's really good. Really good. He's just not being played in the right position, and that's why I'm so frustrated with the team because of the way they're being managed. It's just you make these signings, and then you make these signings like Griezmann, we signed Griezmann. And then you come off saying this is a player we've been following for 3-4 years. It's why?
Bro, how you gonna follow a player? That man was linked to United so heavily, bro.
How you gonna follow a player? How you gonna brag about following a player and then you bring him in and you don't know where to put him? How does that make sense, man? That's what pisses me off, man.
Maybe you bought him kind of like Dembele, impulse buy.
Coutinho was desperate. I never thought Coutinho was gonna fit in. You go back.
He's kind of like a 10.
You can go back to anything I ever said about Coutinho. Coutinho was never gonna fit in unless
you change the formation.
Unless you play next to Messi, because that type of player needs to play next to Messi, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But it's hard to play that back and forth with Suarez starting every game, because Messi has to give back and forth to Suarez, back and forth, back and forth. It's to feed Suarez to score as well. It's hard, man. It's hard. It's hard when you have Suarez starting in the game. That's what I would say.
I mean,
Coutinho could have fit in. Griezmann could perfectly fit in if you don't start Suarez.
If you switch Suarez for Griezmann.
Game of the day, why? Bro, it just makes no sense at all. Zero sense to start somebody like that every game, bro. Oh my god, it pisses me off.
Your boy Suarez though is pretty much writing it out to the end of his contract and is.
But then you know what? I respect that because he's very talented. I respect that. I respect everything they say. I respect all the players say. It comes down to the manager. At the end of the day, you pick who wants to play for your team, who you want to start that day, who you want to bench, who you want to switch. That's you at the end of the day. So I respect Suarez for that because he tries to give it his all to the team, but then at the end of the day, it's
if you got it or not.
If you don't have a manager that could point out your flaws, and he like, hey man, you're sitting out, you're coming out, I'm starting this person over you. I don't give a shit if you're 35 years old.
Suarez at 100%.
I don't give a damn if you have this much history. I'm putting this 15-year-old in front of you because, not 15, but he's 17.
Yeah.
I'm putting the 70-year-old in front of you. I'm putting Dembele in front of you. I'm putting Griezmann in front of you because they're more fit, man. Like they fit the system more. You're not doing anything to make us better. You're not making us better. That's the way I see it. It's not because I'm a hater, like, oh, I hate every player that plays for my team. If you're not making my team better, I do not want you on my team.
But that's
like, I don't give a shit who you are.
Yeah, that's respectable at the end of the day.
If Messi at one point in his career is not giving me what I want for my team, you could go, man. Like, you have to like realize like that you're not giving like. That's what Iniesta did. That's what Xavi did. They knew that they could not give it their all to the team, so they left, man. Like they left.
I mean, not even then.
They left.
They played less.
Rakitic, for example.
Yeah.
The whole season. Oh, I don't know why Frankie's coming in. He's not taking my spot. I have my spot. As soon as Frankie came in, took his spot. And now he's crying like, oh, I'm not playing. Man, they told you from day one, you're not playing anymore, man. You're done. You're not gonna play. You're done with the team. So why do you keep on? You're done. So as a player, you have to like understand that you cannot play for the team anymore. That's why I can't stand these type of players. PK, that's it, man. You have to like.
I think he was done like maybe 2 years ago.
Nah, but then that's the thing. Like last season, he played really, really good. Last season, he played amazing.
What about Umtiti?
You have to like.
He was at one point the man,
but he got injured, and then that's it. He got injured and never came back. He decided to give it. He got injured. He decided to come back and rehabilitate and whatever, blah blah. Whatever he did, he came back and gave it his all for France to win the World Cup. And he even said it himself. He's like, yeah, I'd rather win a World Cup than a club title with Barcelona or whatever.
That's not.
But then, that's fine. You could say whatever the hell you want. But as a team, if you're running a team like Barcelona, you cannot take that.
If you're a manager and you hear that.
If you tell me that you're not playing anymore,
facts.
You're done. Like
if you're not giving,
after everything PK has said,
that's part time.
If I was a manager, after all the crap like PK has said, I would not like start him at all. Like man.
What has Piqué said about the Catalonia stuff?
But he's talking about like Dembele, like, oh, he should give it his off to like football. Oh yeah, like he should be focused in football. But then he comes in like saying like, oh yeah, I'm focused more like I'm this and this, and like he's just contradicting himself. He's done. Like he's done. Like for the club, as a player, he's done. As a defender, he's done. Like that's it, man. That's it.
Well, back to what I was saying to Rakitic, he's pretty much given till January.
He's done, man.
Where do you think
man, that's what I'm saying. Like if you're Xavi or Iniesta, if you're Xavi or Iniesta, and you know you're good, but then it comes to a point in your career where like it's like damn, like I can't give my team. I'm not as good as like.
Would you see him going to MLS?
I don't give it damn where he goes, man.
You just want
I mean I don't care where he goes. I mean, not like that, but like
we support Miami Inter to a certain extent.
No, I'm not. I'm just talking crap. It's like
would you see him going there?
Shouldn't be starting every game.
You would take him.
I wouldn't mind him like off the bench, like here and then. But
okay.
His play is not for the team, man. Like he cannot control, can't create, can't do anything, man. Like it's frustrating, man. Like that loss at Anfield was
big.
Ooh, and
it was big, bro.
He played a big part in it, man. If you watch the second game, he played a big part in it, man. Like that loss was.
You guys had it.
He was the main. That's what I hated when people tell me like, oh, Messi like choked like.
Wow.
Messi played. Messi. No.
It's kind of like when United like something happens with United, they're gonna blame Pogba
because Messi played a better game than he in the second leg than he did in the first leg, in which he scored that free kick. Like He played a way better game in the second leg, which they lost, than he did in the first leg. That's my whole argument, man. Like,
yeah, but it's not up to a player, which is ultimately like.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, when it comes to comparing players like that, like, that's why I don't.
All right, so
I hate I hate comparing like individual players because of things like that. Because people will be like, oh, yeah, Messi sucks. Like, Anfield. Like, what is that? Did he watch the game? Like, he played better in a game that they lost than in the game that they won. And in that game, he scored that free kick. Like, it's just.
Let's wrap this up. All right, I'm gonna ask you 2 questions.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna ask you 2 questions. Question number 1, because we have a few minutes left.
Before he axes anything, we need a new manager to bring that intensity. There's no urgency. There's no intensity. There's nothing. They're playing like a team that won the last 3-4 like Champions Leagues. They're playing like a team that has won everything in the past 4 or 5 years. That's how they're playing. That's how I see it. If you bring a new manager in, they'll bring that intensity in.
So
if I was a manager, like I'll come in and I'll tell Suarez like, yo, like if you're gonna hire me, like I'll bench this guy every game, like man, like
if keeping the things as is.
If you're not gonna do what I say, do not hire me. They're playing Dortmund next week.
Where are they gonna end up?
Nah, they're not gonna win. They're gonna win the league because of Messi. Because Messi will come in and fucking win out. Oh, like we saw it today. Their 2 goals were off set pieces. Because Messi provided the assist, like he.
Okay.
It's either that or a penalty or a free kick.
All right.
That's how they win.
If they change, right? Let's say, for example,
Griezmann will play a very role to the team.
Let's go if they get with Pochettino, right? What do you expect? What do you expect to be the result?
There has to be a difference, at least in the offense. I don't believe in like the defense are good because. I mean, like, Led's probably like our best defender. Like, I mean, Piqué's done. There's a lot of history there, but Piqué's done.
Sounds like a.
I love Umtiti. I think before he got injured, I thought he was the best defender.
He was legit. Before Koulibaly was a name.
To me, he was the best defender in the whole damn world, man. He was.
He was that man.
Every play he was there. Every play. It does not matter. It could be anybody in front of him. He will be there. Van Dijk, whatever, blah, blah. But I'm saying, like, man, like 3 years ago, man. 3 years ago.
He was a steal. Man. He was a steal.
He was it.
Very concerned.
But then again, he got injured. You have all these players that play for your team. And you lose at Rome. You lose in Roma, against Roma. Like that. The way that you lose against Roma. And then the following year, you do the same thing against Liverpool. And then after Liverpool, you get even worse. Every game, boy, I promise you, every game after Liverpool, Champions League. It's gotten worse and worse and worse and worse. It does not get better. It's like, damn, bro, like, you have to learn from this. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, how do you not fire this guy?
We're gonna talk more about that. But we have Johnny here. You a concerned Barcelona fan with the whole Valverde situation going on.
He's not a Barcelona fan.
Yes, I am, bro.
He's a Messi fan.
Nope.
I can't wait till Messi leaves.
Más de un club. It's más de un club.
I'm so mad because
we don't have any more time.
It's
because we don't have any more time.
Because it's the first time that I like a team overall, and they're fucking it up for me, man. Like coaching wise, man. Like it's nothing. Because after Messi, they're not gonna be anything.
And that's that, man. Stay tuned. Laters.